Okay, so here's yet another project for Mugen that I'm closing out. It's done. This is 100% done. As you can see, it's super unique. I know you've probably seen, excuse me, you've probably seen a million different builds of Hyper DBZ all over YouTube, but trust me, none of them are touching mine. And yeah, I'm glowing on this one. As you can see, when you exit and enter the main menu, it's animated. Watch Goku's hair and watch their eyes, they blink. That dragon is fully animated in the background. There's a lot of effects going on with the Dragon Balls floating everywhere. And they're all consistent with when you jump from screen to screen, but I won't dwell on that too long. I'm simply gonna go to versus mode here, making sure my controller is set up properly. I'm using one controller to control two characters. So for my personal tweaks that I've made to this, I'm just going to start by saying, of course, there's secret characters. I have a short attention span, so I require secret characters for any 2D fighter that I play, and there's quite a few for this game. I have Kid Goku. He's actually not from Hyper, but I modified him, his palette and his playstyle to perfectly fit this game, along with a plethora of other characters. Another outstanding thing about my build, as you'll notice, I'm simply just going through the Goku. You'll notice his portraits have been heavily modified too, to match said character. Specifically, I wanted my characters who are the same but in different forms to not only stay in the same place, but to be the same size throughout. It's very important to me. I get jarred very easily. Plus, I'm kind of a perfectionist. You'll notice for the character select screen here, it's fully animated. You'll notice the characters blink. And if the character is the same person but a different form of the same person, they blink in tandem, which is or rather in sync, which is very important for me. Let's go down Vegeta here so you can get a feeling for what I mean about the size and the placement here. Literally every character in this roster has been touched, or rather been tweaked by hand, personally, by me, to not only be consistent with everyone else, but to, to modify them. A good example, or more clear example of what I'm trying to say here is this Blue Vegeta, SS Blue God, SS God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. His, no offense, but his sprites were not, they weren't great. They weren't complete. If you look closely at his outfit, he has etching. He has stitching, one on his thigh, one close to the top of his crotch. And his color palette is also black and gold. You'll also notice the stripes from his shoulder pads, specifically the orange part of his shoulder strap, have been removed. That's something I personally did, and yes, I did it for every sprite. If you're curious about that, just watch one of my previous videos. I'm sure I go in depth and just blatantly show you what I tweaked. The same applies to Blue Goku. I had to go back and tweak all of his sprites and remove that undershirt from the character. A lot of people who tend to mod Mugen characters, they do a terrible job in my opinion, specifically with Goku, because they never remove his undershirt. You could blatantly have like two blue shirts caked on top of each other, and I guess they think it's an illusion, or I can't ignore it. It freaks me out. So I personally went back and tweaked them. Speaking of a huge tweak, I have a SS4 Goku for Mugen for Hyper, which I'll be showcasing in a second. It's complete now. I redrew all of the sprites for the character. I just had to do it. The original release for this character, same applies to for Vegeta too. But the original release for this character that someone released, I think I got it off of Mugen Nation. But the original release wasn't done. He only had like 4 or 5 sprites completed for just the stance, and then the rest were just SS1 Goku with red clothing. It was the most jarring, staggeringly bad made character I've ever played with, and I was shocked that people didn't destroy the creator for doing that to them. But it's whatever. Again, I'll showcase this. Sorry, I'm eating in the video. I'll showcase this in a second. I'm just giving you guys a feel for what the portraits look like here. I manually tweaked every portrait to make sure the portraits are not only consistent in size, but the placement has to make sense too. This is my end result. Oh yeah, also I have a Zamasu that I created by hand. Also, you have to find the video on my YouTube channel if you want to see it. But he's fully complete now. I went back and replaced every Goku palette swapped sprite from this character with the Zamasu sprite, and it looks insanely good. It's very accurate, clean, professional. Shout out to SSJ5 Java or Super Saiyan 5 Java. This is probably by far the dopest custom, personally made Mugen character I've ever seen released on the internet. I did not create this. I did not touch this. It does not need touching. It is insane. Just a big shout out to that. Java's incredible character. You'll notice there's a lot of characters that aren't from Hyper DBZ that I made Hyper DBZ. I just simply went back and basically tweaked their palettes to be consistent with the rest of the characters. Excuse me, I have a hiccup. And I also resized all of the characters that aren't Hyper to perfectly fit into this world or into this roster. If you want to see those in detail, just go back. He's also not from this game. But if you want to see those in detail, just check them out. Also, here's Android 21. I can't remember for the life of me. This is an event, Android 21. I'm so sorry, I forgot the name of the creator. But the guy who originally drew the sprites for this character is very talented. Chojin? I think his name is Chojin. But the guy who made these sprites is very talented. He's an incredible spriter. He just has a knack for not really completing the characters that he sprite. But this is also a custom. It's a heavily modified Android 21. Again, if you want to see it, you have to go through my channel and just pull up her hyper video. This is the latest Jiren. It says Jiren V5. I need to change that name, by the way, to just Jiren. This is the latest Jiren release. It's a really good Jiren. Of course, I modified it personally, but it's for the most part, it's super accurate. The reason I'm showing this video is because this is my last hyper video. This game is complete. I've modded this to a point of no return. There's literally nothing else that I need to or want to do to this game. So this is a farewell to this, so I can move on to better, in my opinion, better Mugen projects. This is specifically open for just this video, but here's my secret area, just showcasing characters that you normally can't select and play with, but these are characters that you encounter throughout the game. This is an alternate version of Jiren. It's like a boss version. He's way stronger. He has a different moveset too. Gairen, Mecha Dragoon, or Mecha Dragon, Quick Man. It's just a plethora of like Team Z2, Cybaster Office, DBC, DBZ, or rather DB Super based characters. There's just a plethora of you know, characters you encounter in boss fight. Brawly, that's DBS Brawly specifically. I had to hand draw all of the sprites. It wasn't complete. I don't think the creator of that character plans to complete it either. No offense to the person. But I'm not gonna show all of my characters. Just as you can see, they're very clean, professionally placed. The portraits are insanely accurate to the base game. Everything's, trust me, it's modified to be perfection. Because if it wasn't, I'd freak out. So what I'm going to do here, because I want to show a contrast of the character here, I'm going to pick the base Goku for the opponent. I'm going to pick my 4 Goku, just to show the sprites that I've drawn in. If you have this SS4 Goku, you can already see the difference just from that intro alone. He's, like I said, he's done. I have nothing to do to this character. It is flawless. This is perfection. I demand it. If it wasn't perfect, I would freak out. So, you know, not really optional here. Yes, everything, all the way until his win. Everything's done. So yeah, my SS4 Goku. I finally got one that's functional. For the love of God. Oh, it's just, this is incredible, man. This is my favorite Dragon Ball character too. He's from GT specifically. Another thing before I close this video out, oh my god, this video is over 10 minutes already, is if you see an asterisk after a character's name, it's because they transform. Good example, this Goku here, he can transform into every form underneath him, besides of course 4 because he's from GT. But every Z or super character he can turn into. Same with Vegeta. Vegeta can turn into all of his forms except 4, of course. And I don't know, I just thought that was pretty neat. They're not the only ones that have asterisks on their names, as you can see here. Gohan can change to Super Saiyan. Future Gohan, yep, the one-armed Gohan can turn Super Saiyan. Vegeta can turn into Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue, which isn't even selectable here, which is pretty insane and cool. This Trunks turns Super Saiyan. Trying to make sure I don't miss anything here. Frieza can transform to gold mid-fight, which is pretty awesome, instead of just picking him. The characters have been scaled too, power-wise. For instance, base Goku, his attack power is doubled when he turns Super Saiyan, and then triple. No, this is 2.5 times his attack power at Super Saiyan 2, and then of course it's 3 times. So yeah, it's triple the attack power at SS3, and of course the SS4 is 4 times the attack, so on and so forth. These two, of course, this one is 4-time attack power, and this one's 5. So just to give you a good feeling for what God and Super Saiyan God are like, power scale wise. Of course, Beerus is by far one of the strongest characters in the game, so you're not going to beat Beerus by yourself. Well, you can beat him by yourself, it's just going to take a lot of work. And everything's accurately scaled. He's got ×1 power, he's got ×1 power. I think his power is ×1. Super Saiyan is always, if you see yellow hair, it's going to be ×2. I'm just dragging this video out now. I'm going to end the video here. I have a filter. You saw it when I showed the SS4 showcase, but the filter basically completely removes pixelation. I hate pixelation. It freaks me out. I'm not a pixel art fan. I think it's lazy. I will never appreciate it. Not specifically in fighting games. I will never appreciate pixel art when we can have something smooth and consistent like this. But yeah, I'm gonna close the video out. This is my Hyper DBZ. This is my final video. This is the greatest DBZ build in existence, without question. And it's only gonna improve if I decide to touch it at a later time. You know, everybody, God bless. Be safe. Have a beautiful day. I thank the guys at Team Z2 for contributing what they could here, and have a good one.